Good morning, students. Today we will learn branches of accounting. We have learned the importance, functions, then the uses. After uses only we are going to learn the branches of accounting. Okay, now the branches. The accounting is divided into 5 branches. Number 1, financial accounting. Financial accounting. Final accounts. Because financial transactions only entered in the books of accounts. And which type of transactions? Transactions and events which had occurred, that means historical events, are entered. Historical events means already occurred transactions. Future transactions we never write. Already occurred. Then this financial accounting provides information for the users, all the users, for taking decisions. All the users we have studied, internal users, external users, mainly they will be following this financial accounts only, financial accounting. Here it starts with identification of transactions. That is the first step. Everything will be done in a systematic way. First one in that system, what is the first one? Identification, then recording. First they will identify the transactions, then they will record them in the books of accounts. Then they will classify, that ledger accounts they will prepare, classifying, and the balances of ledger accounts are summarized in the trial balance, that is summarizing. What they are summarizing? All the financial transactions. Financial transactions. And it starts with the identification and it ends with preparation of financial statements. Preparation of financial statements. We know the financial statements, many times I have told you, 2 statements. One is income statement, the other is financial position. Income statement and financial position. Financial position is ascertained from the balance sheet. So income statement and balance sheet we can say. From the income statement we calculate the profit or loss. From the balance sheet we ascertain the financial position of the business. So the ordinary accounting is the financial accounting. It provides various information for the users, especially for taking decisions, proper decisions. Then this financial accounting starts with identification, recording, classifying and summarizing of all financial transactions and ends with the preparation of financial statements. And financial statements are income statement and balance sheet. Here from the income statement we can calculate the profit or loss. Here that income statement is also called as trading and profit and loss account. Trading and profit and loss account. One account, this profit and loss account, then balance sheet. So from the trading and profit and loss account we can calculate the profit. From the trading account we can get the gross profit. From the profit and loss account we will get the net profit. Okay, you have understood. Then the second accounting is cost accounting. From the name itself, we can ascertain the cost. So cost of products will be calculated, or cost of product or service. to provide a service, how much is the cost or total cost? How much we spend, that's the meaning. Cost means how much we spend for that particular product, to produce that particular product or service. That is called cost of production. So it involves, this cost accounting involves, what and all it involves? The collection. They will collect the cost. Collection, recording, their identification. Then the same way here it is called collection, recording, classification. They will classify into fixed cost, variable cost. That is called classification. That is one big book, cost accounting. If you study M.Com, you will study there. Financial accounting, cost accounting, each one subject there. So here we are studying only one heading. So it involves, the cost accounting involves the collection, recording, classification and allocation of expenditure. And allocation of expenditure for the determination of cost, or determination or fixing the cost. Determination of cost of product, cost of product or service. If they do one particular work, for example constructing a building, so they will collect all the expenditure separately and they will record them. They will classify them. What is the day-to-day expenditure, then the fixed expenses, everything they will allocate. What is the fixed cost, what is the variable cost, everything they will allocation of all expenditure for the determination of cost of product. So they will calculate the total cost of that product or total cost of that service. Then along with this one, they will add some profit or gain. That will be the price of that product. For that purpose only, for fixing the price, they are calculating the cost of product. Understood? So this will be very useful for the management in taking their decision and for the purpose of cost control. If they reduce the cost only, then they can earn more profit. If the cost is more, they cannot increase the gain and they cannot increase the price. Instead, they have to reduce the cost. In order to reduce the cost, they will calculate this cost of product or service. Understood? The next one is management accounting. Management accounting. This management accounting also related to cost accounting and financial accounting. We can say it is a combination of financial accounting and cost accounting. With this accounting only, they will take decisions in the management about the future plans and policies, or for to control any day-to-day operations of the enterprise. So they will collect the information from financial accounting and cost accounting. Financial accounting and cost accounting. They will group them, they will modify them, and they will present them in order to do some function in the management, or for discharging any functions, or for the decision making purposes. For decision making or for controlling, etc. For this purpose, they will use the financial accounting and cost accounting, that they will collect them and they will group them, modify them. That means they will calculate what is the ratio. All these things will be calculated in this place only, in the management accounting. Then the next one is social responsibility accounting. Accounting is not ending with the management accounting. Social responsibility accounting is related to the society. In the beginning, in the introduction, I have told you, because any organization is running in the midst of a society. So they have to take care the society around which they are working. So what are the things they have to take care, what they are following up? Especially if they run an industry that may create any pollution, so they have to control that pollution or environment pollution, either air pollution or water pollution, whatever it is, that should be controlled. So that will be done with the help of this social responsibility accounting. That also they have to incur some expenditure, isn't it? They cannot simply do any activities without spending anything. So all that they spend with regard to this environmental pollution, then any infrastructural development. Infrastructural development means the construction purposes. For that they have to get the workers from the same locality, or any employment opportunities. These employment opportunities will be provided for the people, those who are around that institution. So all these need that investment of some amount as the expenditure. So this will be done with the help of the social responsibility accounting. Then the last one is human resources accounting. Human resources. Human resources in the sense the amount invested for the purpose of the human resources. Human resources means the employees or the personnel, everybody, maybe the workers or all the people, those who work under that institution. So they have to spend some amount in the human resources as the salary, then their insurance, medical, any other allowance, everything is also cost a lot. So this will be coming under this human resources accounting. So it will identify and they will quantify. Quantify means they will say how much they have to spend with regard to human resource, and reporting investments. Reporting all the investments that they do with regard to human resources. Investment in human resources. That is called human resource accounting. Understood? Now we will learn the basis of accounting. Basis. On which basis we are entering, recording. There are three bases. First one, cash basis. We know the cash transactions, that is all. Cash basis. Under cash basis of accounting, only the actual cash receipts, actual cash receipt and actual cash payments are recorded. What are recorded? Only actual cash receipts, actual cash payments are recorded. If we do not receive any cash, we may not enter that one in the accounting. That is cash basis. Only cash transactions are recorded. That means cash receipts and payments only are recorded. Then what is not recorded? All credit transactions are not recorded. Understood? Only the cash transactions are recorded. Under cash basis, if there is any income, if we receive that income, only then they will write. So any income received, any expenditure paid. all the expenses that they have paid. That is actual cash receipts and actual cash payments. And if we purchase an asset purchased, but we should pay the cash and cash paid. Asset purchased and cash paid. Any liability we paid. Whether that liability is related to the past year, present year or future, any doesn't matter, any years, any periods liability, if we paid, that will be included. That is cash basis. Then accrual or mercantile basis. Accrual or mercantile basis, second one. Accrual or mercantile basis. This is what many of the organizations follow. Even we also follow this accrual or mercantile basis. Here they never consider whether it is actual cash receipts. What they see, whether it is accrued. If it is a receipt or revenue, whether it is accrued. Income accrued but not received, we will enter. Even though we have not received, if that income has been accrued, accrued means what is the meaning? For example, rent. Rent is accrued. Rent we need to receive from a bill that we have hired a building for someone. That rent must be received in the month of March. Rent of March. We close the accounts also in the month of March. But when we will receive this rent? In 1st April, isn't it? So here what is the meaning? This rent has been accrued. Whether we have received? No, we have not received. But this will be included in the books of accounts. That is called accrual basis. Whether it is accrued, any income or any expenditure. Any expenditure. Whether it is incurred. Expenses incurred but not paid. I will tell one example. Here we are paying salaries to the employees, isn't it? At the end of the month. For 1 month if they work only, when we will pay the salary? 1st April they will pay the salary. Okay. But we are closing this in the month of March. Books accounts close on in the month of March 31st. So this expenses already incurred. They have worked for the whole month. So that is related to that year's expenditure. So we will take all the expenditure, whether we have paid or not, whether it is related to that particular year, then we will include this one in the present year's expenditure. That is what expenses incurred but not paid, we will record. What we will record first? All the receipts, whether all the receipt or revenue which are accrued but not received, and all the expenses incurred but not paid. This will be recorded in the books of accounts. In the same way, if any asset is purchased, whether we have paid or not, if cash paid or not. If we have purchased that asset for credit, we will include this in the books of accounts. In the same way, any liability incurred, whether we have paid or not. we have paid or not. During that accounting period, all these will be entered. Whether we pay or not, whether we receive or not, we will enter this in the books of accounts. That is called accrual or mercantile basis. Here, this is the best method that among the three bases, this accrual or mercantile basis is recommended by the Indian Companies Act under section 128(3) of Indian Companies Act. Companies Act 2013. It is asking to follow the accrual basis of accounting. That is why we follow this basis. I told you accrual basis is the best one, that is recommended by Indian Companies Act under section 128(3). Okay, the next one, third one, hybrid basis or mixed basis. Hybrid basis or mixed basis. It is a mixture of both the cash basis and accrual basis. Here, which one will be cash basis and which one accrual, we will see. Both the cash basis and accrual basis are mixed here. Here, revenues and assets. Revenues and assets. That means here revenue means income, the asset that we purchase, asset. They are recorded on the basis of cash basis. Then expenses and liabilities. They will follow the accrual basis. Just to protect the company, no? They are following this one. Assets, if we pay cash only, then they will write. Revenue also, if they receive, they will write. But any expense incurred or any liability incurred, we have not paid, even then that also will be recorded. So, they are following for revenues and assets cash basis, expenses and liabilities, they follow the accrual basis. But it is not followed by many institutions, either cash basis or the best one is accrual basis. Small concerns, they may follow the cash basis. You might have understood now this basis of accounting. Now we will see the last heading. Role of an accountant. Do you think only that accountant has to prepare the accounts, financial accounts, that financial statement, trading and profit and loss account and balance sheet, he can sit simply? No. He performs many roles in a business organization. First one, as we said, he is preparing the books of accounts. So, he is the record keeper. He maintains many records, so that he is called a record keeper. What are the records he keeps? That means he maintains a systematic record. We know the journal entry, then identifying, recording, then classifying, summarizing, then preparing final accounts. All these he is doing. Okay. So, systematic recording of financial transactions. All the transactions which are of financial in nature. That is why financial transactions. And at last what he does? He prepares the financial statements and financial reports. Financial report. He has to prepare. Understand? He is a record keeper. First and foremost role is he is a record keeper, because he is recording all the financial transactions in a systematic way, and he has to prepare the financial statements and the financial reports. Then next role, what is this next role? Provider of information. Provider of information to the management. He has to assist the management How? For their, what is the work of management? They will take the decisions for the future. For decision making purpose, he is providing this information. What is the information that they are providing to the managers? With all the financial statements and financial reports. So only then the management can take decision and they can control the business operations. Then protector of business assets, because he prepare the balance sheet. In the balance sheet, what is entered? All the assets of the business. So because he is entering next year also, he will compare these assets with that actual asset they have to sell at last. So he is acting as the protector of business assets. All the assets which are owned by the business, they are recording them. So they can exercise control over these assets. Who? The management. So indirectly he is protecting the business assets. And again, he can advise the management to insure any business assets. If it is in a dangerous condition, they can ask them to insure such assets. Or if they need any maintenance or service for any asset, they can advise them to the management in order to do maintenance or repair, whatever it is. So he is acting as a protector of business assets. Then the fourth one is financial advisor. Financial advisor. Since he is maintaining the books of accounts, he may know how much profit that business concern is earning. So it can advise the management to invest the excess money in other investments, to invest their savings or their excess amount in the development projects or outside or inside the organization. So there will be many investment opportunities that field must be known to the management in order to improve their finance. Their excess savings will be advised to invest in other concerns. Or they have to ask them any cost to make cost control. If the cost of production or cost of a product, total cost of a product is more, they will ask them, they will advise them, unless we control this cost, we cannot improve our profit. That will be done. Then any future growth or development, for that also they will advise them. What can they do? Or for the expansion of the business, how can we improve our business? All these will be advised by the accountant. So he is acting as a financial advisor. Then fifth one, he is a tax manager, because as per the books of accounts, only the tax will be assessed, tax will be calculated. So he has to prepare the tax returns, and it will be, he has to prepare, not only preparing, he has to file them in the office, and not only file them, and they have to make payment also. So he has to prepare the tax returns and he has to file in time. Within the time limit they have to file all the tax returns, and payment also must be done within the time limit. So he is acting as a tax manager. Then again they can give advice for the management regarding reducing the tax burden. How can they reduce the tax? How that no concern will be ready to pay more tax. So reduction of tax will be known by the that accountant. So he can advise the management how to reduce the tax, or tax exemptions will be there. For example, if they invest in mutual fund, they do not need to pay tax. No need to pay tax. At the same time, they can get more return from that investment. So all these will be known by the accountant. So he can advise the management for reducing tax or any tax exemption is available. Everything will be informed the management. Then the last role, public relation officer. Now, he is not only working within the organization, he is having some relationship with the other public or the many users of this accounting information. So he can act as a public relation officer, because he is providing, because he is the one who is preparing this financial statements. So anybody can contact him, even if the court is requiring that company to provide or submit the books of accounts. This accountant only has to take those books of accounts to the court. He may be one of the user of the financial information. So this accountant is acting as a public relation officer to various users, because many users are there in a business organization. For all of them, he is the one, the accountant is the one providing this financial information. So he is acting as the public relation officer. Understood? Then if you don't understand once you listen, then once again you listen to these three headings and you will understand very clearly. By this we have completed. I will mark the question answers now. All the one word we have completed. Now the 2-mark question, very short answer. The 5th one, name any 2 bases of recording accounting information. If they ask, you can write any 2 bases, either cash basis, then accrual basis, or accrual basis and mixed basis. Any 2 you can write, and write 1 or 2 sentences under that heading. But they have asked only name, but sometimes they may not give mark. So you write at least 1. What is the name of that one? Okay. Then the short answer. Discuss briefly the branches of accounting. Today we have studied these branches of accounting. All the 5 branches you write under that heading, branches of accounting. You write everything and write 1 or 2 sentences. If they ask for 5 mark, 2 sentences you write. Then importance, I think we have marked. This part is interested, we have marked. Now role of an accountant. All the 6 or 7 headings. 6 headings you write. 1 sentence also under them. Okay. Now we have completed this lesson. We will go to the next lesson. Students, before that you have to complete learning this full lesson. Only then you will be able to understand the next lesson. That next lesson is also theory. So get ready to learn that one. That is very, very important, because there only you are going to learn all the basis. That means fundamental theory. Upon that only we are going to do the problems. Unless you know this one, it will be difficult for you to do the problems. Okay. So you have to learn all that we have learned today. Up to today what you have learned, all these things you have to study thoroughly. Okay. The whole book you have to read. They may ask from the book also. Okay. Thank you, students. Bye.